What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. A lot of things going on here in the city of Pittsburgh. It seems like a lot of rumors are floating around, but I can say this that the Steelers do not have a deal in place for Brandon Aiyuk as of yet. They have been in contact, there have been discussions. The Steelers appear to be worried about the salary that would ensue yearly for Brandon Aiyuk. That seems to be what's holding this trade up currently at this point. But there is no deal in place. The Twitter people that are putting out there that there is a deal in place, it is not as of yet true. So please do not believe those just yet. Now, if it happens, and we'll see. But as of right now, there is no deal in place for the Pittsburgh Steelers to land Brandon Aiyuk. Even I don't believe the ones that say there is a deal in principle. I don't believe that either. I think they're trying to work out financial details. I think they're working hard on it. I think some of the rumors have some validity to them. However, nothing is in place yet for Brandon Aiyuk. Yes, Russ, that was cool. You got to go there with your family. That was awesome. No doubt. Glad that you got to spend that time, brother. Let's see who else is in there. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. What's up? What's up, Russ? Steelers for Life 138. What's up, man? Not much here. Just got back. I'm sweaty, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't even have time to change my shirt or nothing. Just getting the kids settled down and getting that all taken care of. And craziness here. But sorry, I'm turning my Wi-Fi on. There we go. As we get through here, just trying to get everything taken care of, setting up. But again, guys, no deal in place just yet for star wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk. I know that's on everybody's mind. What's so nice in my life right now is to see that Kenny Pickett is relegated to the third team. It just keeps getting better and better for me in that front. What's up, Danny George? I don't think we do either, man. I don't think it's a necessity. I think it's a luxury. Absolutely. There's been other teams that have contacted the 49ers, guys, and I want to be real about that also. It's not just the Steelers in play. I've heard the Browns. I've heard the Patriots. I've heard other teams that are out there that have had interest, that have had aggressive talks also with the San Francisco 49ers in concern with that star wide receiver. I definitely didn't think it would go this way, and I don't know if it will even yet go this way. But I've seen some people that risk their... Here's the thing, guys. When you post these things, and I saw people post it on Twitter, and I saw people posting it elsewhere, that Brandon Aiyuk, it's a done deal. The Steelers are trading for him. You risk your reputation when you do shit like this, media-wise, podcast-wise. You better be damn sure you know what you're talking about, or at least have a good inkling of something that's going to happen in a reliable source that had told you before you go and make those types of bold statements, man. Because honestly, you can lose a lot of credibility. And as of right now, when I made the thumbnail for this show, and right now when we popped on there, I know darn well right now that there is no deal in place. I will continue to refresh as we are on this show in hopes of maybe seeing something pop up. But again, guys, there is no trade in place, and I know there is heavy buzz about this. So make sure we're hitting that like button as we're discussing this Pittsburgh Steelers team as they had an off day today here on a Monday, back to work tomorrow on a Tuesday. Maybe they have a deal in place. Maybe it's not Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe it's somebody else. But I know the Pittsburgh Steelers will make... I can say this, and I feel this with 100% confidence. And this isn't because somebody told me or anything like that. I just have a really strong feeling that this football team has yet to make its final moves concerning this roster and moving into 2024. I still think that this team does something. Does that mean trading for a wide receiver? I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows. Now, I've heard rumblings, and I have heard from people of other wide receivers that possibly were interested in coming here. Maybe those deals fell through too. So, you just never know. And this is a big money game, guys. Things can change literally in 30 seconds, 1 minute. They are dealing with large numbers of money or large amounts of money, and they're trying to set themselves up for not just 2024 or just not the immediate. Good GMs like Omar Khan, good people that run franchises that know exactly what's going on. They're trying to prepare for the future too. And every move has a ramification for the future, and they have to make sure that what they're doing is good for now and good for later too. And I understand every move can't work out perfectly. And I understand that there may be moves made that you have to make adjustments down the road in order to make it work, or sacrifice something down the road to make it work. And yeah, you have to do that sometimes. But these guys in these moves, they are very particular with them. Deals can fall apart in seconds. Deals can materialize in seconds. And things will change rapidly here as we are even on this show. Hey, I haven't. We've had it happen before here on this show where there's been breaking news on trades and moves. So maybe we'll get lucky and have it happen yet again and be one of the first ones out there. You never know if we stumble onto that bullshit. Glad to see you in the chat. Justin Fields is trash. That's from Matt Reynolds. Van Jefferson is playing great. Matt, I have to talk about this, and I got beat up in the chat today when I did in the comments section of one of the videos that I had made today, talking about Justin Fields and the reality of Justin Fields. And I feel like there's a lot of the fan base out there that has blinders on, that is looking at something that isn't 1,000% realistic. And what is going on in Latrobe, Pennsylvania right now in camp is not a realistic view of the quarterback position. We have to face that, and we have to understand that, and you can't overlook that. And the people wanting to crown Justin Fields and say that he is the guy that should be starting, don't do that to Justin, first of all. Like, let's respect him enough to allow him to get comfortable enough to be able to be that guy that's going to go out there and lead this franchise as the first string guy. Let's allow him to be comfortable doing that. And honestly, guys, if I look at this roster and I look at the quarterbacks that are on there, I could see probably next year not having either one of them. So you never know. You never know. And I really got to say, the people that were beating me up saying that I didn't know football because Justin Fields has shined. Guys, when you can't get hit, you have no threat of being hit, and you're back there and you hear the coaches in the background yelling, time, sack, pass rush, whatever they're yelling. I hear them yelling shit to them. You know that in a realistic situation, your timer has expired and you can't have 7, 8, 9 seconds to throw the football in the NFL. It is a rare instance that happens. Steeler fans may be a little used to guys having a little bit more time when you dealt with Ben Roethlisberger through his young parts of his career, to where he was able to play backyard football, shuck guys, get out of the way, extend plays. Yes, those things happen, and those are rare instances, and Justin himself has that happen. But again, you can't get hit, so you don't know if you were going to get sacked when the guy was like right beside you, and he ain't going to reach his arms out there and tackle you. And I got to say this too, and I don't know if people understand this, and this always puzzles me why people don't get this. Do you think for 1 second that defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers are showing everything that they have right now when they know there's guys on this roster that won't be with them? Do you think for 1 second they are going to give every trick out of their bag away? Do you think the offense is going to do that? No. There are players on this team that will not be on this roster, that won't be with this team. They are not going to give every piece of information out there and do all their little tricks. And they're not going to go out there and go out of their way to help offensive linemen learn how to defend against certain techniques that they've developed and things like that. They're not going to pull those tricks out of the bag because they're not going to give all their little secrets and tricks and their little quirks away. They're not going to do that. So this isn't a 1,000% realistic situation for Justin. Has he improved? Absolutely. But is he there yet? Absolutely not. Period. Oh, all right, guys, make sure we're hitting the shit out of that like button and get us moving here through our show here on a Monday. Again, Pittsburgh Steelers on a off day, heading back to padded practice tomorrow on a Tuesday. And again, there's rumors floating around there. Some people risking their whole media career by making the statement of Steelers, have a trade in place. And I seen it on Twitter from some people, bigger name people. I'm not just talking like small people. I'm talking like people that got, double digit thousand people following them and shit. Like, whew, that's ballsy to make that claim. Sorry, have a little glass of Coke tonight, man. It's nice. All right, guys, make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat as the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to push through here. I'm going to give you a little bit of what I think you might see in terms of 53-man roster projections. I think they do keep. We'll start out more or less with the skill positions right now. A little bit of the wide receiver stuff might still be up in the air. But again, I really truly believe that it's clear cut of who the quarterbacks will be. That's the obvious slam dunk, easy one to predict. That is Russell Wilson as the one, Justin Fields as the two, and Kyle Allen as the three. We know that to be true. The running backs, they'll keep for sure. Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, those are really easy to pinpoint and pick. I do think that they keep a couple other guys that can do some things in the running back position. Maybe a Cordell Patterson, somebody like that can do something both ways in terms of playing at the wide receiver slot. But he got to get healthy. He's got to get out on the field, or those plans are out. So maybe they fill out there. Maybe they add a runner after the preseason plays out in with Najee and Jalen. But as of right now, I think that that's exactly how that plays out, with a wild card in there like a Patterson, something like that. The receivers, I think they'll keep, as of right now, I think they'll keep at least five for sure, but I think six will be on this roster, no doubt. That these are easy to pick: George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson. There's your four: Quez Watkins, and Scotty Miller. I think that's where they go right now with the wide receiver room. I feel like that's easy to predict there too, as of right now. Now, if you add a wild card in a trade, something like that, okay, whatever, because you still, again, guys, if you get a guy like Patterson back, healthy, able to do some things, you add also that versatility at the wide receiver spot, the running back spot, can do it all, more or less that type of guy, a guy that can fill in places, which will allow you to keep maybe some players that you might not necessarily keep in order to play a little bit of a different brand of special teams this year. So that definitely could be something that happens. Tight ends, I'm not sure how they classify Connor Hayward. I would assume that they keep him at the tight end spot right now, considering I think they want to keep a fullback and keep, what's his name? Oh, shit. What is that guy's name, man? Why is it escaping me, man? The fullback. I can't think of his name right now, guys, but I don't know why. But I think they want to keep that dude. I don't know why I can't think of his name. But tight end wise, I think they keep Darnell, Pat, Connor Hayward in there, and probably either McCole Pruitt or Rodney Williams, if he's able to recover from that AC joint injury. I think that is the battle right now in that room. Again, I think they want to keep a different guy at fullback, so I think that's why Connor gets included back into the tight end room instead of listed as a fullback on the roster. Offensive linemen, I think they keep 9, and this may change also because I think that they may make a trade with a Dan Moore. Maybe, hell, you don't know. That I don't think they have any plans of signing James Daniels next year because I think they want to lose that salary. So I think that they are confident in guys like Mason McCormick, guys like Nate Herbig, guys that can play guard, guys that like a Spencer Anderson, who, if you remember last year, I had high expectations on him, and I think he's starting to fill those out a little bit as camp progresses. I think he's starting to play well, and I've really been high on a guy like Spencer Anderson for a long time. So I think that may make a guy like James Daniels expendable. because I think Isaac Seumalo is safely on this list. But I think that right now, with the guys that are on the roster, you look at Broderick Jones, James Daniels, Isaac Seumalo, Herbig, of course, Dan Moore, blah. Troy Fautanu, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, and Spencer Anderson. Again, guys, I think there's some other people knocking at the door there. Maybe a Dylan Cook or something they can move up if one of those trades happen. Also, there are options in there for them to play around with that. But typically, I think nine offensive linemen is solid to go into the season with. And that wraps up the offense of what I think this offense looks like moving into the regular season, guys. What is that guy? What is that fullback's name, guys? I cannot remember what his name is. Nobody put it in there. Anyone excited for Steelers Friday night? Ben made preseason boring this year. Should be interesting. Jason, watch party. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we will do a watch party. I typically watch that with the kids and stuff, the games, and then do a show after. But maybe. You never know, guys. Russ will be the starter and take us to the Super Bowl. I hope you're right, Russ. Let's go. Absolutely, Miss Pittsburgh. Let's hit the shit out of the like button. I appreciate the emojis, guys. Thank you. Wave your terrible towels. Jason, were you at Friday Night Lights? It was the best one I ever went to. This team is fired up. No, I've not. I have not been there in years. I did not get a chance to go. Man, to be honest with you guys, and I got to say this before I forget, I'm going to need to move these shows. I don't want to do them this late. I feel like I'm rushed. And I don't want to discount my kids that I coach every day. And I have things here at the house to do. I need to find a time earlier. And I know once football and school starts back up and football eases back down, that'll make it a lot easier. But I don't want to be rushed coming back here because I owe it to you guys to be definitive and start consistently and be consistent. So I got to figure something out. I'm going to try to play with the schedule a little bit and try to figure out something a little bit different here to make this live show a little bit easier for everybody. So email me any type of suggestions you guys have on times. What's up, Brian Hanford? Let's go, Mafia. Absolutely. Brian says, anyone excited for Steelers Friday night? Oh, yeah, you're talking about preseason. Yeah, I think preseason's going to be super exciting, Brian. Absolutely. I'm super stoked about it. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to put on a real clinic, man, for what it is. I just have high hopes for them not because I think they're going to come out there with some great game plan or something. No, because that's not going to happen. We're not scheming against anybody here. We're not going to go out there and make a game plan up against the Houston Texans. We're going to do our things and try to get our fundamentals down as a football team. That's what the Steelers are doing. That's what the preseason's for. You're not working on any type of scheme and trying to outsmart the other team in any particular way. You're just lining up and playing the X's and O's here, man. And just going straight forward with hard-nosed football, trying to be physical. Why I think this team will be exciting and really do a number on the Texans is because of just what Russ said. This team's fired up. It has a lot of excitement surrounding it right now, and I want to see this team take that into stadium on Friday night and really put that on display, put that team energy on display, and really show the fan base what kind of team that they're building here for 2024. An exciting, rough, rowdy team, man, and I hope they take that in because I've been seeing it a lot at camp, and I think that that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward here in 2024. Isn't it left tackle and Trout at right? Yeah. Brian Hanford, kids always come first. Yeah, man, I got to figure it out. I don't want to rush. That's all. I don't like rushing around. Rushing around just gets me off beat, man. Gets me out of my game, man. And I owe it to you. I owe it to the kids. I owe it to everybody not to be rushing around and be on point here. Hearing the hard-hitting pads was unlike I ever heard, man. Yeah, that's what you got to get excited about. That hard type of play, that hard-ass type of play, man. And I try to tell everybody this, man. And I think that this is something that's so overlooked in football, man. It's real simple. The most aggressive team, the team that comes out there and has the biggest fire in their belly, man, that plays with the most excitement. And I'm not talking excitement to where you're playing crazy and you're missing assignments and you're not thinking well. I'm talking you want to be there. You want to be fired up. You want to play. You want to be doing this. Be aggressive. Want to be there, man. Show up every day, willing to work. That's what wins, man. That's what wins. And that's just what has to happen. It'll be nice to see the fundamentals. The fundamentals, man, is so key. So key. Even at the pro level, and it's so overlooked, man. Again, all these people in my comments that, well, not all these people. It's just a jackwagon here and there, got something to say. And then whenever you challenge these people to actually intellectually break down why they say the things that they say, they can't do that. And that frustrates the shit out of me. It's like, if you got something smart ass to say and somebody questions you or challenges you and asks you for some substance behind what you're saying, give a good answer, man. Come back with something. Don't just bullshit. And I got one today. Third in your division. That's all you're going to be. Third in your division. You're basement dweller. You're third best defense in the division. How do you know that, first of all? You're listening to some list some dumbass in the big national media made up, first and foremost. You don't know this team intimately, nor do you know every team in the AFC North intimately. And then when I rebutted and said, well, the Steelers went 5-1 within their division last year, I got confidence that, that's not going to have a drastic drop off in 2024. Oh, you finished third. Okay, but you were talking about being third in the division. That's what you were talking about. And I said that the Steelers played well in their division. I mean, have just something intelligent to say other than, oh, they're going to be third. Give me reasons why. Tell me why. Brian Hanford, watching Justin Fields, I really feel like he is on board for the long game. He seems to know his role and welcomes Russ's mentorship. I love it so far. So good, boys. Here we go, Steelers. Yeah, you got to admire somebody that wants to be, that wants to absorb mentorship, that wants to absorb coaching. And Justin had a bad reputation for not wanting to do that before he came here. And I don't know if any of you guys had heard the reports of that happening. I had done some shows on that, but I have to give Justin Fields credit here in Steelers camp. He seems to be, from an outsider's point of view, not somebody that's on the field with him. He seems to be a guy that's very receptive to learning and taking in the knowledge of others. And I have to applaud him on that, and I think that is going to be the key to his long-term success in this league. He has to be able to do that, and sometimes you have to swallow your pride and understand your deficiencies and admit your wrongs and fix them. And I think that he's doing that, hopefully. And that's why all these people that keep wanting to rush him into the lineup, keep wanting him to be the day one starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1 of the regular season and thrust him into that. All you're doing, guys, is putting him back in that same situation that he was in Chicago. The Chicago Bears drafted him and put him in immediately to play because they wanted him to carry that franchise. They expected him to carry that franchise. And he wasn't able to get it done, whether it was the resources the Bears gave him, whether it was the coaching, whatever the reasons were, he just wasn't able to get it done. He has major deficiencies, guys. He cannot process the game at a high enough rate right now, and that's okay. Let's just get it under wraps and let's learn. Let's figure it out. And let's not try to push it to where he's thrown into the same situation to where he's may possibly not succeed. You may get lucky and he may go out there and all of a sudden be able to do all these bad things right that he did wrong before, Maybe that's the case, but I'm going to say I highly doubt it, 5-1, baby. They were 5-1 in the division. Chris, we don't talk politics here, brother. Sorry. Don't put that in there. And I don't care. I mean, I have my own political views, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I just don't want no politics on here. That's all. I just think this is our escape from politics. Go Chiefs. Oh, come on, bro. You do have the best quarterback in the nation, or in the world, in Patrick Mahomes. LC97, what's up, Steelers Nation? Let's go. John Broadway, Chris Honeycutt. No political. Thank you. I appreciate it so very much. You guys are on it. John Broadway. Hey, Jason, good to see you live. Thank you, John. Good to see you, brother. Brian Hanford. Hey, all non-members, join the channel. Jason is going for 5K before the season starts. Let's go, Mafia. Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. And yes, guys, just make sure you're hitting that like button. Help a brother out here. hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach that 5,000 subscriber goal before week 1 of the NFL regular season. We're about 3,500 right now. We're damn near about to hit 3,500 subscribers. We are working toward about 50 paid members. Last I looked, it was like 30 something, 40, I think. That's pretty damn cool for a channel this size. We've been working hard at it. We're starting to gain ground, and we've been around for about a year, a little over a year now. So we're going to continue to bust our ass, and without you guys, it would be nothing. So make sure you hit the like, share, get the word out there of Mic Drop Sports and our daily live streams, our daily uploads. Our daily uploads have taken a real drop off lately during the down part of the season when it was, shitty times, slow news. They're picking back up a little bit now, so let's get those ones rocking and rolling by hitting that like button and all that good shit. I want to see that one day, LC. Absolutely want to see that. A Steelers Eagles Super Bowl. I think that would just be absolutely awesome. And I think even people that would be non-fans of those teams would really think that would be cool too. Just the Pennsylvania Bowl. I just think that would be super sick to see. Man, will it ever happen? I don't know. Probably not, but you never know. We could wish, man. John Broadway, why is there this rush to go nowhere? Let's get our line set, and then we'll work on the QB situation. Absolutely, John. You hit the nail on the head. There's a process here, and it has to go through the correct steps. And if it doesn't, things don't work, and you're always chasing something different. You're never able to build and be steady and continue to lay the foundation. Once you don't do those things like laying the correct foundational blocks, and you're jumping all around and you're trying to put the the cart before the horse, they say. You're trying to do things a little bit out of sequence. That's when you have issues, and then you look at your draft. You're trying to chase things in the draft. Maybe you're overdrafting somebody. Maybe you're valuing somebody a little bit more just because you have a need now, and all of a sudden you created that need because you skipped a step in the building process. Foundation, guys. Trenches, trenches, trenches. Those trenches have to be secure. Secure it. Then allow this quarterback situation to really play out and figure it out. Who plays well behind that offensive line? Who is able to get up there to the line of scrimmage and process the game in the correct manner? Who is able to anticipate and throw the wide receivers open? Who is able to get up there, process the defense, understand how to check in and out of calls, in and out of plays in order to be successful? Who is able to stand in the pocket and run when they have to, not run because they need to, because they absolutely have to, because they can't throw from the pocket and they're super freaked out by the footsteps. You can't have somebody like that. You need a guy, and I hate to say it, but Patrick Mahomes is the prototypical quarterback. A guy that's not super fast, that, can just run down the field and take off and be a run-first guy. He uses his legs in a smart way. He uses them to extend plays when he has to. He uses them to gain a first down when he has to. But otherwise, he will stand in that pocket and change his arm angles in order to be successful. He does everything that is necessary. He doesn't force things, and that's what you want to see. What's up, Beer Mo's in the house? What's up, Justin Menike? Nathaniel Sampson, what's up? I remember you, bro. Is Frazier running first team yet? Anyone know? He hasn't. Nate Herbig's been the guy right now, Brian. You're seeing Zach getting more and more reps every day. You're seeing him being incorporated a little bit more. We'll see exactly once this first preseason game concludes how the reps are distributed amongst those offensive linemen, where exactly some of these guys shine, where they have the deficiencies, because we need to look at how they play also and match that up to the type of system that Arthur Smith is trying to play. You want some dogs up there, guys. You want guys that are nasty in the run game. You want that kind of player to start this off, because you are going to have to lean so heavily on this run game game, that it's going to be imperative to have those nasty dogs up front, those guys that really can battle in the trenches and play that dirty, nasty type of football, man. That's what you're looking for with the Pittsburgh Steelers here, scheme-wise, and which players match up best to that scheme. Beer Malls, yeah, I love the preseason games for the fact of seeing new guys we picked up. That's probably the only part that I like, man, is getting a chance to sit at your house, actually look at these guys, in a close-up way of really what they're able to do. And sometimes you're able to maybe pick out a guy here or there that is going to be able to work his way onto that starting roster, onto that 53-man, and be able to contribute. You sometimes can find guys like that, You look at a guy like Corey Trice, a guy that had a little bit of a setback, I believe, with his knee injury. And I think once these preseason games start, maybe you start to see him carve out a role. Mike Tomlin calls him, the Avatar or something, that freakishly large size for the cornerback position. Match that up well with Joey Porter Jr., rotate in the Dante Jacksons of the world, whom I think will have a good season. I really like a Deshaun Elliott. You might see these things start to really take shape, man, and some of these guys, get the chance that they're so desperately looking for inside of a Pittsburgh Steelers helmet, or any helmet in the NFL for that matter. John Broadway, hell yeah, people. Peebs versus Flyers and Eagles Steelers. Oh, Pens versus Flyers, Eagles Steelers, black and gold forever. That'd be awesome too. We've seen them though. The Pens and Flyers battle many times in the playoffs, so that's always a wild series, no doubt about it. Justin Meneke, I seen a prediction video from the Steelers fan today, and they said that the Steelers will miss the playoffs this year. Is that true? Justin, it's hard to tell if it's true, false, or what. It's a matter of opinion. Exactly that right now. It's a matter of opinion and how you look and view this football team. And that's how you view any of the football teams. It's an opinion right now. No one truly knows. A team that won the Super Bowl last year could be horrible this year. That's just how this NFL game works. I'm not saying that the Chiefs are going to fall off or something and be horrible, because I don't think that to be the case. I'm just saying that's how drastic things can change year from year. Even if you think on paper they're stellar, things can happen. Injuries happen. Setbacks happen, man. And no one will know. In my humble prediction, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers reach a 10-7, 11-6 record. I think that that's a good place for them to be, in my mind, because I think that that's the type of football team right now as it sits. That's the type of team that I think they have. Now, can that change either way? Absolutely, it can change. But as of right now, it's just a guess. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers miss the playoffs. I think they make it in. But, after the first 3 weeks of the season, my tune could change, and so could yours. Beer Malls, are we going to see Russ for one drive, and is Fields going to play? I don't know how they are going to divide this up. I think Fields gets the lion's share of the reps, and then I think Kyle Allen comes in and plays a lot of football for the Steelers, because I think they want to be able to get out of there healthy. I think you see Russell Wilson no more than 2 series at the absolute max, if he even plays. I think that would probably be it for him, and he will go to the bench. I think you will see Justin Fields for maybe a quarter or 2, and then I think you see Kyle Allen and maybe Plumlee or somebody finish this shit up for the Steelers on Friday. Let me get in the chat. Russ, super excited for preseason, Brian. I think this team has a really bonded and believes it in this year. Yeah, you got to believe, man. That's the biggest thing. Offside edits. Hey, mic drop. Have you ever seen the rumors about Brandon Aiyuk today? Yeah. And he also put PS in his TikTok bio for Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think about this? I don't know if that's what he put, TikTok bio, if that's what he put in there. I don't know if that's the case, but maybe he did. I have seen the rumors, but I can tell you as of right now, when I made this show, there was no deal in place for Brandon Aiyuk as of then. The Steelers are working hard on a trade for Brandon Aiyuk, but as of right now, there is no trade in place. So whoever posted that there is a deal done, Please do not believe them because it is not a done deal yet. They are in talks. They are in the ball game. They are in the discussion. But again, this can change very quickly. Brian Hanford, Jason, I would love to see an all 22 analysis of O-line in preseason. That'd be interesting. I used to do some of those way back in the day. I'd kind of like look at them a little bit, but I never could get really any views on them or traction with them, so I kind of quit doing them. But maybe I'll bring them back. Maybe I'll start doing them once a week. Colebrook says, Bahamas love Steelers Nation. We're big over here. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I didn't want to butcher your first name. Sorry. That's why I said your last name, but that's awesome. Shout out to the Bahamas and Steelers Nation that resides there. Beer Moss, what's up, Russ? John Broadway, how can anyone really know what any team is going to do? What you're going to Vegas, make a bet and see how you are. Yeah, basically you're just betting on it. Yeah, it's your opinion, you know? And I know people want answers, and I know people are starved for football. I am too, man. I'm ready for it to kick off and get moving here. I desperately want to see some regular season, real live football and get this season started. But, man, it's just not here yet. And all we can do is speculate. Colebrook, win or lose, I'm Steelers. Yeah, man, me too. Thank you, Colebrook. Appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Miss Pittsburgh with the terrible towels. Offside edits. People are saying we got the news 12 to 24 hours early, and that's why they haven't announced it to do. Do you think that could be the case? Nah, man, I don't think so. I just don't think there's a deal in place yet. I think it leaks out so absolutely fast that you will know immediately if that deal gets done. I keep refreshing here just in case it pops up, trying to open up some chats in case anybody does give me a heads up that it's going to happen, but that's probably not going to happen. Brian Hanford gifted 5 Mike Drop Mafia memberships. Thank you again, Brian, for that. I appreciate that. If you are one of the people that accept the gift for the Mike Drop Mafia, make sure you thank Brian Hanford for giving out those memberships to the channel as a paid subscriber. I appreciate it. And guys, remember, it's 99 cents a month. That will never change no matter if there's 10 million subscribers on this channel. 99 cents. It will always be 99 cents. That will never, ever change. And during the season, you will get members-only lives, members-only shows, and you get cool emojis and things of that nature. And when the chat is super busy, I tend to only answer the people that are in the Mafia when the chat is super busy. And during the season, that happens a lot. Welcome to DM Walker, Ecstatic, 669 Garage, Rod, Jay Garlock. Those guys got the gifted membership, so welcome. Good night, John. Thanks, man. See you, buddy. Miss Pittsburgh with the terrible towels. You're not missing anything, Stall 2213. We're just bullshitting Steelers here, having a good night. Again, welcome to all those new Mike Drop Mafia members as Brian gifted those memberships. That's really, really cool. I appreciate that. And guys, if you want to get your own membership, the link is in the description of this video, this live stream. You can go into the link. It says, would you like to join this channel? And you can do so. And that's how you get it done, man. But otherwise, just make sure you simply subscribe and like. That would be really cool too. Beer Malls, I'm pumped to see Arthur Smith's sideline presence. He should grow his skiing stash back out. We ain't talking Canada, sitting in the upper suites. Now, I think you're going to see Arthur Smith down and dirty with the boys down on the sideline, not being forced to be down there. I think you will see an Arthur Smith that is far different than what Matt Canada was. Matt Canada, according to many reports, had an office that he never came out of, that he didn't interact with the players as much, that he wasn't a hands-on type of coach. That's just the way he did things. But I don't think that type of coaching works. I don't think that type of coaching works at any level, in my opinion. I think that is a kind of a cowardly way to coach. You don't tell people to do something if you're not out there doing the work with them. You're not out there, right beside them in the battle, man. I think you need to be doing those types of things. Absolutely. That stash he had was sick, bro. Big porn stash. All right, guys, let's get those likes up here before we start winding down. I'm not going to go for an extremely long time tonight. I was hoping we got some news on any types of trades. That would be really cool while we were on, but last time it happened was awesome. I can't remember. I had said something about a possibility of something happening. I can't remember which move it was. And we were literally live, Sean and I. And like, soon as I refreshed, soon as like literally I'd said it, it popped up. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. It was the luckiest thing to ever have happened, ever. So it's crazy. Let's see what the NFL news is. You also saw Tyreek Hill get a contract extension, which is crazy. You know, big money, man. $90 million over 3 years. You looked at that. You also saw what's his name get paid like $60 million a year, man. Who was that? I gotta find that. Shit, it was a quarterback. I don't remember who it was. Somebody got paid monster dollars, dude. It was like 60 million or some shit. Guys, you don't win with $50 million a year quarterbacks. Let's just face it. I'm sorry. Unless you are an elite superstar monster quarterback that can carry a football team, you don't win with guys that make 50, 60 million bucks a year. You don't win with those quarterbacks. That's not the era in which you win your Super Bowls. That's not where you collect your titles. You're just not, man. You're gonna, you'll be good enough. That's what you'll be. You won't be good enough to be the champion, though. Justin Meneke, do you think this year's Steelers coaching staff is better than last year's? Absolutely. I think so, Justin. I think it's definitely improved. I think Frisbin Jackson lost control of that wide receiver room last year. You see Coach Azani, Coach Z coming in and being a little bit of a more disciplinarian type coach, trying to reel that room back in to get those guys to understand they have a job to do on every single play. Get them to understand that you can't stand there looking like a dumbass in front of 70,000 people acting like your shit don't stink because you are pissed off about something. Oh, I'm Deontay Johnson. I make millions of dollars a year, and I'm going to stand here and watch a play happen. Get a life. That type of shit was super annoying, and I'm glad Frisbin Jackson's gone and Coach Azani's in there to hopefully reel those guys in the wide receiver room. And yes, Justin, I definitely think just the addition of Arthur Smith, Coach Azani, just the addition of those two guys instantly gives this room or this coaching staff a lot more credibility in my eyes. Offsides, edits. I know it's too early to tell, but do you think the Steelers will get a deal done by next week for Aiyuk? I don't know. I really don't know. I think this is a big thing that's up in the air. And do I think it's a possibility? Absolutely. Do I think the Steelers are interested? Absolutely. Do I think that they've really, really pursued hard for him? Yeah, I do. But I think that there's been others that they are pursuing also. And I think that they are just trying to figure out what is going to be the best deal for the now and for the future. And until they figure that out, we're just going to sit here in limbo and wait. And I think the injury to Roman Wilson with the ankle maybe accelerated the process a little bit, maybe upped the urgency a tad on the Pittsburgh Steelers side to maybe possibly be a little bit more inclined and willing to do a deal that may be slightly out of their comfort zone. But again, guys, the other teams have to want to do these deals also. Everybody just isn't throwing a top shelf wide receiver out the door. If they have the opportunity to pay them and they have the opportunity to keep these top shelf guys to keep their football team in the hunt for a Lombardi trophy, they're going to do it. So it's not all just about what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing here in this, these deals. It really definitely relies on the other side to be a major key player. They're just not going to be like, yeah, take on the salary, dude. Do what you need to do. Pay his ass. See ya. Bye. That's not going to happen. The Steelers may be trying to see, hey, will the 49ers take half his salary this year? Maybe pay half of that $14 million Aiyuk is due. And then they still have a couple bucks in order to rework some deals that they have remaining inside of the building or add somebody else or maybe keep a little bit of money in case they need some cash during the season to sign somebody due to injuries. There are so many variables at play here, and if you get a big name guy like Aiyuk who's going into the last year of his deal, you have to make a sign and trade. a trade and sign, really. They're going to have to sign him to some sort of deal, man. It's not logical for them to give up any sort of draft capital, because I can tell you guys there will be draft capital involved in a trade. They're not going to give up significant draft capital for no security with that player in the future. They're just not going to do that. But I don't know if it gets done by next week. It's hard to tell, offsides. Justin will be better is what I meant to say. I think they'll be better. Captain, do you think they would part ways with Najee if we get Aiyuk? I don't, not now. No, I don't think Najee would be part of that. I don't think that they'd be willing to trade Najee right now. I don't think they'd be willing to dump Najee in any way right now. I think what a move like bringing in a top shelf wide receiver does is adds to the talent that's in this building, and you don't want to trade one talent off and create a hole somewhere else. I think that you have that running back room right now in place the way you want it for 2024, and I think you want to ride with it that way. I don't think Najee would be a casualty, at least not for 2024. Stall 2231 or 2213. What trade in the is in the pipeline? People are talking about an Aiyuk deal, and that the Steelers are really hard at work on this deal, and that things are starting to move along, and a possible deal is maybe on the horizon. But as of right now, there is no deal in place. There is nothing that's saying that a deal is going to get done. It's kind of a toss-up right now, so we just kind of have to wait and see. I wouldn't. I don't want either one. I would take Jordan Love. Jordan Love's pretty good. Tua Tagovailoa is not an NFL quarterback in my eyes. I don't think he's very good. Yes, coaching staff is much better, especially OC and wide receiver coach. I'm super stoked. Me too. Have a good night, Brian. See you, buddy. I don't think we get Aiyuk. Hope I'm wrong. I don't think they do either, but you never know. Danny George, me too. Russ Beer Malls. Look at Detroit. That coach and the coordinators and management turned that team around in 2 to 3 years. They are top a top NFC team. We're heading in the right direction. I think this team is headed in the right direction. What is the major variable with the coaching staff and the Steelers organization is Mike Tomlin. Is he willing to change? Is he willing to start to adapt to today's NFL? Is he going to make the necessary adjustments in order to be better? He has made he has major issues. He doesn't manage this roster well, guys. When you see what he did with that quarterback position last year and allowed things to spiral out of control, a team that was 7-5, just had a bad beat from the Cleveland Browns, a really tight ball game that really they lost that game because the offense sucked ass, and that was partially Matt Canada, partially Kenny Pickett, partially Mike Tomlin. He has to shoulder some of the blame too, And that team fell apart there. Losses to Arizona, losses to the Colts, losses to the New England Patriots. And Mike Tomlin continued to sit idle. Then you saw last year with the offensive line, horrible decisions made by Mike Tomlin. If Nate Herbig is good enough this year to be in the running to be the starting center, the first team center, what the hell was wrong with him last year in 2023 when you watch Mason Cole have a historically horrible season? What was wrong with him? Why didn't you make a change if you were Mike Tomlin? Why didn't you try to find other options? Those things are inexcusable, guys, and he has to be willing to fix that. And if he isn't, then there's a problem. You look at Motor City, Dan Campbell up there in Detroit, and that squad right now. Yes, they have changed, but I think Dan Campbell allows his coordinators to coordinate. I think Dan Campbell manages the roster a little bit better right now. That's just what I think, and I think Mike just got to realize some of his deficiencies and get it done. Is Mike Tomlin a bad coach? No, but he has to fix some of this shit, guys. He has to. Has to, bro. All right, guys, no Aiyuk news while we've been on. No trade news, period, for the Steelers since we've been on. Yeah, so we'll see. Another thing that keeps popping up is that Cole Holcomb shit, man. I don't know if he's going to play this year, guys. I really don't. I'm worried about that. That's one thing that I wish that maybe he's, maybe he's sat for like the first 5 weeks or something. Thanks, Beer. Thanks, Beer Malls. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Cole Holcomb's going to be on this roster, guys. I think that was one of the reasons that you saw Tyler Matakevich being brought back in. I think that that's, probably a little bit of a sign there on what could happen. Let's just hope they stay healthy in that area and see what goes. I don't know, man. He might play. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, I'm going to start winding this down here. Again, no news. Nothing changes. If anything does go down with any type of trade made by your Pittsburgh Steelers from now until tomorrow morning, until our daily upload, I will get back on and put out a video. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I don't know how to say your name, man, or I'd say it. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it up. But thank you. Appreciate you. But yeah, I'll be back on with a special, either live or a special report. We'll see what exactly happens. Probably a live would be better. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think we'll see Cole Holcomb again this year, maybe late in the season. I think Corey Trice will play a big role, though. That's from Cap 10. Justin Meneke, I hope our defense stays more healthy this year, longer than last year. Yeah, and a lot of that plays off of the offense and their ability to control the football in time of possession. What's your question, man? Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Who's going to be our quarterback? Russell Wilson will be the guy to start the season now. We'll see how that all plays out, but I think he's the only logical, true choice right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields, he just got to get to work, and that's okay, man. Let's allow Justin Fields to get his feet underneath him, and if the Pittsburgh Steelers decide to make a deal, a more longer-term deal, a more longer-term commitment to Justin Fields because they like to see what he's doing right now, maybe then, we want Justin to probably sit a little bit this year. We want Justin to get that mentorship from Russ. We want him to get better because if he's going to be involved in the long-term future of this franchise, we want him to have the opportunities he didn't have in Chicago. Yeah, he does need to get his accuracy right, no doubt about it. Thank you, man. See you, Russ. All right, guys, I'm going to peace out. I'm going to bounce off here again. Thank you. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. Also, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so, so very much for joining us on our daily live stream here on Mic Drop Sports. TD, thank you, TD. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, bub. But as always, guys, I truly appreciate and value your time and really appreciate that you join me every day to talk Steelers football here on the channel. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports. Peace.